Hello everybody, welcome back here to another video at Rule 1 Model Railways. Thank you very much for joining us, and a special welcome to those new subscribers that have just subscribed. There's been a bit of an influx, so I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. We are now on 536 subscribers, and you guys are giving me all of the motivation I need to make all those videos, so again, thank you. If you're watching this video at the moment and you haven't subscribed, do consider subscribing. I've got lots more great content coming out for you guys that you might want to stay tuned for. So do click on that and click the bell icon. That'll give you all the updates as well. Now, moving on to today's subject, we have our video. Again, unfortunately, the audio didn't work, so I'm going to have a look into that. But as you can see there, we are about to lay the plaster bandage down on top of the foam. Now the foam itself there is all glued down, and that's set hard. Thanks to how much glue we used, it's set really well, and there's been no problems with that. So I'm going to show you now how the foam is laid. Not the foam, I beg your pardon, the plaster. But there it is, that's what we're using today. This has been bought from a shop called The Range. It's a shop that's in the UK and Ireland, and is readily accessible to all. I think they're €2 a pack for 2 of those rolls in Ireland, or what does that work out, about £1.70 in the UK. Now we're just rolling out a strip of that at a time. We're going to cut it up into sections and roll it out. And what you're going to need for that is a container of hot water, a pair of scissors, and some spare time. There we go, so moving on. So we'll just measure out how much we need for that section, and chop down the end where we need that. There you are. And it's fairly cheap stuff as well, as you know. So if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world, just throw it away. And you can cut a new piece, but you shouldn't really have to. There we go. I'm just laying it down with no folds or creases. And the way I lay it is I rub the surface of it while it's wet on where I want it to be. That brings the plaster through and gets it to set correct, as you can see there. So we're just doing that for the whole strip. It's a fairly easy job, you can't really go wrong with this. That's the great thing about it. When you see what's underneath, it's quite rough. After you've laid this plaster bandage on top of it, it comes out a lot smoother. Saves a lot of hard work smoothing out anything else that you might have had underneath that you might need to smooth out. Again, just making sure at the bottom it lines up with the edge of the hillside where I want it to contour down to, and straightening it out so there's no creases in it, just to give it a smoother appearance at the end. Now it's not completely important you have it completely smooth, as this stuff does flatten out quite nicely, but this is the way I like to do it. We'll just move the video on a little bit. See there, we're just doing loads of layers. Oh, we're on fast forward anyway now, so I'll just leave you to watch some of that. Now as you can see, it is important to layer it up. I'm layering it over the bits that don't quite look right, so there's more plaster. Once you got less of the holes, you see where it's got holes in it down near where the water container is, that sort of thing. This needs to disappear, and that shows you it's almost done. Again, if the plaster's not spreading properly, you can always add a little bit of water to it. It'll aid you in spreading the plaster around and flattening out the material. Now when this stuff dries, it's going to dry really, really hard. So the thicker the layer you put on, the harder it'll be. Which is great news. Especially on an exhibition layout like this, if you accidentally knock it on somewhere, it's not going to be the end of the world. And this is on one of my corner pieces, so that's a handy thing. There you go. So as you can see there, it's all pretty much done. And that is how you lay out the hill after you finish with it, with the foam. After that, we're going to paint it up once that's dry, and then start to lay some scenic scatter down, and you can see how we do that then as well. Yeah. Now, as I said in my videos, some of my videos, I wanted to add an additional segment to them. And today we're going to recommend another channel. Today we are going to recommend this one. Geoff Hammond of Flint Hills. Again, it's another one of those channels that's got hardly any subscribers, but the content is really, really good. So on his layout, he's actually using something incredibly similar to me. DigiKey's DR5000 DCC command station, and again with all the automation bits that go with that. I will just move this over and you can view one of his videos, a short segment of that. And you can make up your mind then, see what you think. If you want to subscribe to him, I'll leave a link in the comment description below.
Hello, my name is Geoff and welcome to my first ever video from Flint Hills. And welcome to my little layout. This layout is actually a test layout which I've started to build. As I know nothing about DCC, I decided to start small, and I've built this very small test track so I can make all my mistakes now before I build the much larger layout. The theme of the layout is based very loosely on modern day West Coast Main Line. I've always had a keen interest in model trains, and as a teenager I was a member of the Romford Model Railway Club, and later when I lived in Milton Keynes I was a member at Bletchley Park. Over the years I've made a few attempts at 00 layouts in rooms and lofts, but with work, moving and life in general, the railway keeps finding its way back into a box, and that's where all my 00 gauge stuff resides today. Never want to give up, I'm now ready to build again. As I said earlier, I've got this much larger layout design in my head, which I've had for about 30 years, which I am very keen to start on. would be the first to admit that Flint Hills in its current form does not look much, but it's just what I've needed as a test track to allow me to run trains and develop my DCC knowledge. The much larger layout that I want to build actually incorporates a huge mainline station and goes through a main junction and then out, so it will connect all the different stations up and eventually will return to the mainline station. So this portable test track here I've built incorporates a lot of the features which I want to do on the much bigger layout with the mainline station, obviously a bit smaller, and where the trains can run out and eventually return. I know what you're saying, the signals are rather large. Yes, this is the typical eBay problem of they look good, but unfortunately they were over scale. But for what I need, they're absolutely perfect in testing the logic of DCC, and now I can replace these with the correct scale.
So that is Geoff's model railway there in his channel. As you can see, it's all fully automated, the same as my own. So if that's something you're into, or a really good layout, as you see there, as he said, this is only his first test layout. He's got a lot more to come. Do hop over to his channel, and we'll just go back to his videos. That video is this one here that he uploaded a month ago, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 to catch up on. And I do suggest watching through all of the videos because they all follow one from the other, and it's actually a brilliant watch. So if you do go over there, leave a comment on his videos, Rule 1 Model Railway sent me, and give him a subscription and a good thumbs up. In other news here at Rule 1 Model Railways, we've just put a couple of pre-orders in at Revolution Trains. Well, one of them. We're after the Mark 5s in TPE livery, Transpennine Express, and we've ordered some more cargo wagon IZAs, and what else we got? Hopefully when the 321 comes out we'll be getting that as well. But that should be ready to pick up soon. Now that's the end for this video. If there's anything else, you have any questions, that sort of thing, do leave them down in the comments box below. I'll do my best to answer them. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and take care. Goodbye, see you next one.